You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
Okay, we're live. Zadie, how are you? It is April Fool's, April 1st, 2024, episode 3. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Payroll Rob, joined by Zadie.
What's up? I guess we're getting, the first episode to second was a month. Episode 2 to 3 was 2 weeks. So hopefully by episode 4 we'll be
making progress, getting a little tighter on our schedules. I mean, last week we would have been here, but your boy had the old strep throat action going on.
You know what it was?
The strep throat?
Yeah, strep.
I had strep. Yeah,
I never knew the official diagnosis. I know we all went to the cabin.
Mm-hmm. Nope, came back, had a fever for like a day and a half, and the second day the fever was coming and going, and I said, "Oh shit, I should probably see what this is about." And then open up the mouth, and you can see the little. You ever had strep?
Little spots.
You ever had strep?
Yeah, probably like as a kid or something.
Is it a kid's disease?
No, I don't remember having strep as an adult. I often don't go to the doctor though.
Well, yeah, but this one, so you could see the bacteria in the back of your throat, a little white.
Yeah,
but I had it in Indiana how many years ago? 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, so many years ago.
Yes,
and so I knew what to expect. I knew what the warning signs were, and I said, shit, fever, the little throat action, real swollen, hard to swallow. So just went to the CVS Care Clinic and had him do me the old strep test. And been on the antibiotics now for however many days, and everything's pretty well cleared up. So that's good. We can get back at the recording then.
That is good.
So people are expecting this.
My phone was flooded with texts, calls,
anger,
concerns, emails. So I had to go through and respond to the millions.
They thought something serious might have happened. I'm sure they were hanging on.
No, but Brennan Butler did. Brennan Butler was like, "Yeah, I got on to look and no episode." I was like, "Yeah."
Look, you got to keep people on your toes, right? This is how you build a fan base.
I'm sure by tomorrow the views will be in the thousands.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Waited on bated breath.
Like and subscribe. Smash that like button, actually. Don't just fucking click it. I want you to smash whatever device you're using. Smash. And shout out Matt Vukasic. Maybe he's listening, maybe he's not. But
forever a mystery.
I just like to I like to throw these little shout outs just to see, did you listen? Yeah. Notice anything? But anyway, I guess nothing's new with you then, since
no, a lot of strep action, staying home,
lots of throat action,
cleared that up, then just working around the house over the weekend, doing some classic gardening, getting things ready. 'Tis the springtime after all.
Getting things ready for what? Springtime?
Yeah, planting, putting new plants in the ground, moving some plants around, that kind of stuff. Bringing in some mulch, spring things.
We've just lost all 4 listeners.
Listen, we're not interested in the fucking garden talk.
It is baseball season. That's kicked off. I'm pumped.
What do you pump more about, actual baseball or just the uptick in business downtown?
Oh, actual baseball. We should have split with the Dodgers, but blew 4-run lead. I would have loved to be going into this next series with a split 2-2 versus the Dodgers, but nonetheless,
Dodgers are a good team.
I think it's more promising. I am excited for that, but as you know, I currently work for FedEx and Ballpark Village Sports and Social downtown.
Busy guy.
This week, I am locked and loaded Monday through Wednesday FedEx. Thursday open to close at Sports and Social. That'll be like 9 to 11. Then Friday back at FedEx. Saturday FedEx in the morning. Then I go to Sports and Social close. Then Sunday open to close Sports and Social. So
we're squeezing it in.
Yeah,
Glad you
we
can
are.
find time in your busy schedule.
I'm just trying to take it day by day right now. My brother just moved in over the weekend. I was gone that whole time, so that's a nice little.
Shouts out to Billy.
It's yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot of transitions going on right now.
Springtime. It's the time for change. It's the time of the season.
Spring cleaning.
It's the time of the season for Billy to move in.
Yeah, he tried to move in early the first time. So Billy was supposed to come move in Saturday. Me and him had been talking, and he was like, "Oh, I have a few people coming with trucks and all that jazz." And he was like, "Is it okay if I start moving some stuff in Thursday before my roommate at the time moved out?" And I was like, "Yeah, that should be cool. You could be able to move some clothes in Thursday. It's his day off."
Yeah.
I said,
We'll jump on the action.
yeah. And I said, as far as Saturday goes, Morgan will be out by 10:30. So anytime after that will be good. Well, I come home Thursday from work and there's 2 cars in the driveway blocking the garage. And I was like, what the fuck is
A whole
this?
what for?
Yeah. So I called Billy and I was like, hey, is that you here? I was like, cause there it is. So Billy was like, oh yeah, sorry. Basically, his friend Timmy came out, moves the car. I get in the house. Billy, my cousin Matthew, and his friend Tim are all in the living room playing MLB The Show. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
You said we could move some stuff in.
Well, he's like, oh, I thought you said Morgan will be out by 10:30. I said Saturday, dude.
Saturday. They said, oh, it's Thursday.
He's like, that makes way more sense. So Billy, like, upon moving what I thought was going to be just moving shit into the basement, had hooked up his whole PlayStation already.
Just made himself at home. Just really came in and took over the place.
Yeah. What's going on here?
This is what I get for scrolling through Reddit while you're talking about stories.
Oh.
Just some videos playing randomly. Ignore it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's all done. It's all settled in, and I don't know.
They're all the way moved in now?
They are. They're set up in the basement.
Have they cooked anything in the kitchen yet?
No, none of us have. I think
Who's got the majority of the kitchenware? Who's got the kitchen stuff?
I'd say I do.
Is it stuff that you've bought since living there, or did you move in with this stuff?
Moved in with most of it. And then my old roommate left a few things behind, so that was nice.
On purpose or on just...
No, like on purpose.
Oh.
But
some
yeah.
appliances?
Yeah, but I don't think any kitchen appliances my brother brought.
Okay.
But yeah, just went out yesterday and got a bunch of cleaning shit from Walmart and did not clean at all. Ended up watching the rest of that Nickelodeon Quiet on the Set.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
No, I haven't watched it. Everybody's talking about it. I don't have HBO Max. I don't have premium programming. So I just have to hear everybody tell me about it.
Had been a good topic of conversation right now.
We already knew. I was aware of the Dan Schneider stuff before from what's her face, the girl that was in Sam and Cat.
Yeah, she was in iCarly. I forgot Jeanette McCurdy.
That's it. She had the book I Hate My Mom or My Mom's Dead and I'm Happy, something like that.
I'm glad my mom died.
See, we're on the right track. So
she was
a lot of those stories and a lot of that culture of stuff at Nickelodeon I was pretty well aware of.
You knew about the Drake Bell?
I'm hearing more about it now because everybody is seeing this recent one.
Yeah, and that was not even Dan Schneider. There was like a bunch of pedophiles working on the Nickelodeon sets.
This is like a redemption arc almost for Drake Bell because he was in some hot water for talking to some youngsters or something like that a few years ago, I do believe.
Yeah, I think he was texting a minor, but he didn't know. He wasn't aware it was a minor. But
what a tangled web.
I guess kudos to Drake Bell for when he was in all the hot water. It could have been a time where he could have came out and been like, you know, this is what happened to me, but he didn't use it as an excuse. And I'd say, yeah, pretty good. But definitely it's a tough watch, or it's a sad watch, at least, to know that your childhood, or was kind of tainted. And I don't know if it was necessarily our childhood. We were a little
anything where corporate interest in money is involved has usually got some sort of taint on it.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying? It's got some stank. Like normally, when somebody's doing something because it's about profits, it's not about what they care. They don't really care about entertaining kids. They just want to know that they could lock eyeballs on the TV so they could sell advertising dollars.
Well, and that was Dan Schneider was pretty good at making, like, almost everything he touched was a hit.
Yeah.
But it's kind of creepy. That whole thing was creepy, and I think
it's like you're walking that fine line when you're like producing things for kids, because you got to obviously have that mindset of a kid, and like that's fucking dangerous to just walk around life with always having the mindset of a kid. But you got to be tapped into that to be able to make children's programming and stuff. I guess I don't know, but not great.
Yeah, I wish, man. We need to get you maybe an HBO
tapped
Max
into to the premium networking, whatever.
Yeah,
shows.
Yeah, it's I just feel like it's interesting, and then we went from that, and threw on a little My 600-Pound Life, and that's always a show where it's like I don't want to watch, but I can't stop watching. I'm like, why? How are you doing this?
It's the car crash of shows,
dude. It's so. It's like sad.
Yeah.
But I was
I was at a restaurant on the hill, Antonino's Taverniero or whatever that is. You never
Antonino's? I think that's where Jake Eichelberger works.
Could be. It's on Macklin there. But either way, we were sitting outside eating it, and a large group, probably from St. Charles, came up. And
more shots.
And so there was 5 guys all walking together coming in the restaurant. Each one of these guys was probably 350 bills, 350 or so on average. They all go in, and then like staggering on behind him is the kingpin. This homeboy comes waddling on through. I mean, no joke, probably 550. Just big. I mean, you couldn't help but to like glance and check this guy out, because you're like, man, it's almost impressive that he's moving his body because he's so big, and you just wonder like how many cannolis is that guy gonna have?
Well, yeah, that was the thing where I was watching, and again, like it's a disease, and the guy that it was in the episode last night, he was a smart guy and very aware, and that's just crazy. That's like, it was clearly a mental disorder, because he sat there and made these, like, for breakfast one day, 10 big ass breakfast burritos, dude. I was like, there's no fucking way he's going to sit here and eat all, dude. He did. And he was so self-aware. Like, he was like talking about, and they were showing him,
I shouldn't be doing this, but here I am doing this.
Not even during, like, while he was eating, like,
as soon as they scarf it down, then they'll say, what have I done?
Well, it's like while he's in it, and you're throwing a lot of shade here at the fats these days.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah, I mean,
sure, there's some mental problems associated with it, but it all stems from health problems. And like, there was the time when there was choices. You've made choices, and like, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, a lot of obesity is based on choices.
Well, yeah, everything's a choice. The situations we're in is because of choices that we've made, But, like, who am I? I've made a lot of bad choices, but to see somebody and to know, like, whatever they've gone through has led them to being that unhappy and unhealthy it's wild. But nonetheless, I sat there and
I'm not like sitting here saying that I think that I'm a better person or that I'm judging somebody, but I'm also saying, I guess, that I don't know, like, there is empathy there, but there's less empathy for like a very overweight person than somebody that's just sick from like cancer, right?
Well, yeah, I
guess that's all I'm trying to convey is my empathy levels are different. I don't have the same empathy towards a 600-pound person as I do towards like a person with a disease.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I don't want to say a real disease, but like almost a real disease. Like obesity is a disease that people a lot of times choose, or it's people say it's hereditary, it's in your genes.
Well,
It's more just because that's what your family teaches you how to eat. That's just
obesity is hereditary. I mean, you could be more prone to putting on weight, but it's not like you could be eating 1,400 calories a day and just be a fat fuck because you're like that's just what you were predisposed. That's not how it works.
Like it's just most of the time it's simple math: calories in, calories out.
But
like,
I mean, like to a way less extreme. I've
you
definitely
eat
gone
5,000
through
calories a day, and you wonder why you're gaining weight excessively. Like, I can't figure this out. Gosh darn it!
Yeah, to the same extent. I mean, I know, like, I'm somebody who's like, fluctuated weights quite often. Now, never to that extreme. Like, obviously, I've never even touched 3 bills, but I could just see how it happens. Anyways, kind of a darker topic. Well, I was just getting into the fact that I watched my 600-pound life and
instead of cleaning.
Yeah.
But you got the supplies to clean, it sounds like.
Did. You got his little scrub daddy and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, scrub daddy.
Yeah. Well,
look at this. Look at that.
Going upstairs. I wish we could play audio clips on this.
I'm sure we could at some point. We just don't have anything.
You've been playing some stuff in my ear.
Well, that's just stuff from the internet.
Is that going through our audio?
It's not getting recorded in.
Yikes.
No. He said yikes.
So have you found anything? You've been scrolling for quite some time.
No, the Reddit machine is pretty boring today.
Reddit sucks.
Just a big think tank.
What about Twitter trends? A good click. But what's trending on
Twitter?
On
the old Twitter.
Let's see what's going on there. But
that's what makes good radio these days. Just we'll just be silent while I type away and search the internet for something good. What about you saw that brother? Okay. Let's get into these. So I've been meaning to talk about some standard pet peeve action for a little bit here, but this motherfucker, like 2 weeks ago, my total was like, I don't know.
Where at?
Quick Trip. It was $4.01. I give him a 5.
He gave you 99
This
cents.
motherfucker gives me 99 cents back. That shit just gets under my skin so bad. Because we all know that there's been times when you've had like, $4.96 and you give them a 5. You said, don't worry about the change because that's 4 pennies.
Fucking pennies.
You don't care about that. So don't worry about the change. That happens all day, every day at any place that takes money. This dude sitting here is going to give me 99 cents because he can't front me a penny to give me a whole dollar back. No. You're just doing that to be an asshole.
Did you say something?
No, I didn't say anything because, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? Oh,
he got your
give me the change. What are you going to say? You know what I mean? All they're going to say is, well, I'm following the rules. I don't want to lose my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a hill to die for.
He's laughing. He called his friend. You won't believe this asshole really took the 99 cents. I was going to give him the fucking 5.
No way.
He got your ass.
But does that not get under your skin too? If somebody gives you 99 cents, he said, "Won't happen. I won't accept it."
I just
what are you gonna do if you don't have a penny sitting around and they're gonna try to give you 99 cents?
Are you serious?
You're just gonna engage in.
Most people have a take a penny, give a penny.
I understand. Most people do, but in this situation, there was not.
I
looked all over for a penny on the ground everywhere. And he saw me looking. He didn't give a shit.
Well, my total was just $8.72 up for the Quick Trip on Dorset on the way here.
Mm-hmm.
I give him $9. She just gives me a quarterback. She didn't want it. I didn't even expect. I didn't want the pennies. I didn't expect it. She seemed to understand that. She just gave me a quarter, like left the pennies out of it. But in that regard, like. She didn't even give me the option.
They're way positive in the amount of pennies that people leave per day.
Would have been just as big of a douchebag move if I was like my 2 pennies as what that guy did to you. If like I asked
if you said, "Oh, I need those pennies,"
Yeah.
No, not as much because
That's crazy too, though, dude.
well, that's the money that they owe you back, technically. Then, right?
Well, I mean, it's also the money you owe them.
I know. That's why I didn't make a deal of it because it's not. I'm not correct. Like by the definition of the rules of paying, I do owe them that penny or whatever. But like, what I'm saying is the unwritten rules is we all know that there's that one penny positive sitting there, and this guy was like, no way. Here's your 99 cents, sir.
Are we what do you think the percentage of people that still paying cash are?
Like paying cash all the time or some of the time?
Well, even some of the time. I feel like most people are 80% card all the time.
I think it's less than that, only because there's more olds than you're thinking.
In service industry.
And people that are like, don't have bank accounts and things.
You want to take more shots at people?
No, I'm saying that.
Like I can tell the hesitation.
No, I'm trying to say.
Like,
I was just trying to think of how to say to people that handle cash more often than not. Like people that do illegal activities and only have cash. What? Mm-hmm. That's people. So they spend cash. I would say it's probably somewhere in like the 75%, 73% range of people that use card only. Because if I have cash, I'm going to use cash more than I'll just take it and put it right into my bank. I'll use the cash before I put it anywhere or whatever.
I can't. Oh, this mic's fucking.
What are you trying to do with it?
Just trying to raise it up. There we go. Little technical difficulties on the set. I was fucking falling all the way down my chair just to talk into this damn thing. Holy shit.
So, all right. Yeah. The chain situation was one thing. What the hell was the other one? I forgot the other one, I guess. There was something else that I was going to get into.
No gripes? No more gripes?
Oh, there's always gripes. There's always gripes. I can't. I don't know. What do you got? You got some gripes?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's anything that's like different than people are going to be, that people haven't heard before. It is.
That's all right.
It's April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I've not heard any April Fool's jokes today. You always hear some celebrity died.
I heard one. Or somebody that was like, oh, Mizzou and SLU basketball men's are going to play next year. April Fools. It's like, got us.
I mean,
sure, everybody
it's got to be something that who gives a fuck if they play or not? Oh, really? That's awesome. I give a lot of fucks. April Fools. Could care less.
No, I don't care.
Yeah. UConn absolutely dog walked Illini. That made me happy. Did you see that 30 points in a row?
I saw that. Yeah, UConn went on a 30-0 run. That's
Take
you
that.
You don't see that every day.
Bitch.
You don't see that every day. I haven't watched a single tournament game this year. You gonna watch the women's one tonight? If there's any game,
I would really like to. We'll probably still be recording this at the time that starts.
Well,
but I think I am gonna head home and try to catch that. Yeah, Caitlin Clark,
Angel Reese. Is that her name?
Yeah, it is.
Bayou Bobby.
Yeah. LSU. I'm kind of pulling for LSU, to be honest.
Little heel turn. You like that one?
Well, I think Caitlin Clark's kind of a heel too, but
she is. But you know how the world looks at it.
Yeah, but LSU's also got Flau'jae, the Haley girl. Like, they're cool. Their coach kind of leans into this whole heel thing. I kind of hope LSU beats Caitlin Clark, but Caitlin Clark, absolutely unbelievable. I'm hoping I can go to Indiana next year and watch her play in a game.
That's it. I heard she's got a big offer from Ice Cube League. Is that the
you
deal?
Can't do that.
What do you mean I can't do that?
I was saying that she can't do that. Yeah. She
Why
can't.
not?
I just think that like right now, women's basketball is in such a huge way growing. Like I'm more interested than I've ever been. I mean, it used to be kind of people would make jokes like, "Oh yeah, I'd rather go watch a high school boys game than a WNBA game." But people are locked in. There's a lot of interest. Like that girl from UConn, Paige Buchers. Like, there's another
Is that the girl from UConn?
Yeah, she's a bucket, dude. Yeah, I say cool things like buckets. What you know about that? Dude? I'll say hip. Now, come on.
Anything about bucket.
Come on now. But yeah.
I would agree. That
so I think this is a
women's
chance.
game is more popular than it ever has been right now.
And sometimes you have to do selfless things like to grow a sport that you love, in which in Caitlin Clark's case is she probably grew up, being a huge women's basketball fan and dreaming of the. So if she goes to the big three, it's going to really hurt it. Because if she goes to WNBA, that's going to raise viewership and so give them a chance, like, more viewership, more sponsorships, and how money works, and that's going to be, bigger paydays in the long run for future WNBA players. Now, if she goes to the big three, that's just setting a precedent that, the
Shit
best
on
players,
WNBA, basically.
and so that would be really disappointing. Even if she makes less, which I don't, she probably has a lot of money. She has a lot of opportunities to make money, even in the WNBA with sponsorship deals. Like she's became a household name.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, and I'd say that you're right in the sense that it would be a bad look, right? If you got this all-time popular player coming out of college and is like, oh, I'm not going to go to this league that's supposed to be the professional league. I'm going to go to this new league. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, money does talk. So we'll see.
Set a bad precedent.
Yeah. So I remember the other thing I was going to mention is you saw the cargo ship that ran into the bridge in Baltimore, made the thing collapse.
Insane.
Yeah. Totally insane. And it's just the other thing that's insane to me attached to that is the fact that probably not even hours after it happened, you have your standard glib of conspiracy theorist people jumping on and saying this was an inside attack and just coming up with all these different reasons of why it was a planned thing and it was an inside thing. It just doesn't make any sense to me how something can happen and instantly it's automatically thought of as a conspiracy and somebody's trying to pull one over on us. Bad things just don't happen. Like the idea that bad things just don't happen and like the accidents can happen, I guess it's just gone in the world. Everything has to be some greater conspiracy. It just blows my mind. I guess is all I'm really trying to get
we live
at.
in a very cynical world, and a lot of times now, first of all, negativity gets clicks, and
yeah.
And in this world of social media, we can go on and on about that. Like having some kind of hot take is going to get, instead of writing about the tragedy and the facts that it was, it's a lot, more appealing to say, oh, inside job. Why was this done? Who's responsible for this? And why would they do such a thing?
Engagement farming.
Yeah, so that's just. But I agree with you. It's kind of.
It clouds everything. It just makes it so we can't even have conversations about actual accidents that happened and like what caused it really. Were because people are more like, no, it was the lizard people from underground. They turned off the power to the boat at the middle of the night and made it run into the bridge, even though nobody was on that bridge hardly. No, they wouldn't have done it during rush hour if they were trying to do it on purpose. Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. What's the total death toll right now on that whole?
It's less than 10.
Is it?
Yes.
I heard it was more than that, but like you're saying, like
it's just instantaneous misinformation is flying around like right away on all that kind of stuff.
Francis Scott
Key, you know who he was, right? Francis Scott Key.
Yeah, he wrote the national anthem.
That's the guy. He wrote the words to the national anthem. It was later put to a different tune. It was just a poem originally. He wrote the poem. End scene.
Thanks. And we just lost Brooke Hopt. Our biggest fan has officially tuned out, and we are now just talking to ourselves. This has been fucking great.
Well, yeah. What about Diddy? What's he's on the run.
He's Diddy in something, dude. And then
Yikes, too easy.
Here's my shocked face.
Here's my. I get it. Everybody's been talking about Diddy for years. I guess it's about time that Diddy caught up to Diddy. I'm saying that all these other people learned how to do their stuff from Diddy. Like, look at R. Kelly and all these people probably knew how to act because of Diddy.
Dude, if you think that P. Diddy is the only fucking rich, successful person to be, involved in human sex trafficking, no. I'm almost shocked that it is, you have to, like, when all these things happen, would you be shocked if in a year and a half, Diddy's found dead hanging in his jail cell? No, because these people know that they're not the only ones, and the other powers that be involved in the same shit sees it that they die before they whistle blow. But Diddy is a piece of shit. I'm pretty sure. Obviously, innocent to proven guilty. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say piece of shit.
Seems like it.
When there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my thoughts on. Like,
so is he like? I just don't know the whole story. I guess as far as like what's going on right now, the man hopped on a plane and took off.
No, I don't.
Out of the country or something.
I think that was the initial reporting, but I don't think so. But I thought he was hiding in some bushes at in a Florida airport. That was what I heard.
Why? Why would this man hide in some bushes by an airport if he's worth all this money? I'm just lost. We're gonna need a documentary.
The feds were kicking his stuff in.
I know that.
Yeah, because like the initial reports were like he abandoned his kids and shit and left them there during this whole police raid, and that he was in Africa or something. Like he took a flight to Africa, but I think that was disproven.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that whole shit with, the news that came out about Meek Mill and him and all that stuff. What I do think is crazy, I think some of this stuff starting to come to the surface that has been speculated for years. It's like, it's wild. It's not wild that this shit happens, because I think it's been going on. The rich and powerful have been doing whatever the fuck they want for years. But the fact that it's starting to come to surface and to the light for the public, that's interesting, because it seems to me that there's always reasons for shit. Sure. And like, there has to be reasons that they're allowing this to get to the public, because this isn't new.
Time to go down.
Yeah, but it's not new. And now Jay-Z's getting dragged into this by 50 Cent. 50 Cent saying, Jay-Z's doing the same thing.
Oh, no.
Which I wouldn't be shocked about that either. But also, here I am just recklessly here.
Gotta take the take.
This guy. Yeah. But what I wouldn't be surprised if any of these fucking billionaires are doing shit like that.
Yeah.
That's my take.
When they act like they're, when they start to believe that they're disconnected from the real world and just get to do whatever they please, it's very likely they could get caught up in Lord knows what. Yeah, I think there's even more stuff than this. I think there's something in between this and then the crazy fucking QAnon whack jobs that Hillary Clinton's eating babies. They drink children's blood for their power. I just got done talking about
that's wacko land.
Yeah. I just got done talking about conspiracy theories and like taking out the bridge and whatnot. And then here we are confirming that people have been talking about Diddy forever, and they're probably all right. So there's a healthy medium to like skepticism and like questioning what you're given, but also like, I don't know. There's a bridge.
Well, Cat Williams was talking about this. And also, Cat Williams, people are like, he wasn't lying. Now he's telling the truth on everything. No, because he also said that he read how many books a year?
I don't know, something that was like, he would have to have read hundreds of books a day or something like that.
So just because Cat Williams was, telling the truth about Diddy doesn't mean that
10,000 books last year.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's calm down on just,
taking anybody's word.
You get one hit and 15 at bats, it doesn't mean you're fucking Pete Rose. So,
but you could be.
But not that, Cat Williams probably was telling a lot of half truths to truths on Club Shay Shay.
Clip Shay Shay.
And then how about Suge Knight from jail talking his shit? Like, Suge, you're a piece of shit too. Like,
What's he saying? I didn't even hear. I heard that he was talking. I guess I didn't see.
Well, Phil, do some filler while I look this up real quick. Suge Knight comments on.
Because I just know that. I mean, yeah, there's always different stories coming out about Diddy. Like, weren't they talking about his chef or something at one point, like having to do some crazy sexual favors or something like that?
Well, and never mind, because when I'm reading Suge Knight's quotes, it kind of goes hand in hand without. He said, "Puffy, your life is in danger because you know the secrets. Who's involved in that little secret Who's involved in that little secret room you guys are participating in?" So he's basically saying, like, Diddy's
got a whole little secret round table of people.
I mean, I'd imagine.
He said, "I imagine, probably." Suge Knight's just. What was he tweeting from jail? Is that what's happening? Who's he talking to?
I don't know if it was tweeting.
Called somebody and said, "Take this down."
He said this in an audio clip. Suge Knight. But remember, it's also heavily speculated that P. Diddy's responsible for Tupac's death.
Yes.
So if we're going to lean into all these P. Diddy conspiracies coming true, like, what are we about to fucking find out?
Yeah.
My guess would be nothing, because P. Diddy will either get, cleared of all these things because money talks, or P. Diddy will be found dead.
Yeah. I doubt that we find out anything, dude.
Dude, we're just peasants. They
just along for the ride.
They're not going to allow us to fucking. They're not going to peel back the curtain before the second act is even over. Are you kidding me?
True. Let's see what else is trending today. And April Fools, naturally. We talked about that. Vontae.
Yeah.
Davis. Little sad news there.
Dude.
It's also another similar story. Sean Taylor's birthday today. I saw that was a post.
Wow.
So we'll go down that memory road for a little bit.
I don't know what the details are in Vontae's death, but I will say that almost everybody in the past that's came on Pat McAfee's shows and referenced Vontae Davis seems to hold him in high esteem, and he was quite the character, high pitched voice, and legendarily quit and retired at halftime of the Bills were losing like 35-0 at half, and he was evidently was like, "Man, this is a young man's game, dog. I'm done. This is a young man's game," and just retired at halftime of the Bills getting absolutely waxed,
like Antonio Brown,
which is
mid-game.
Just but it was it was way more like held in high regard. Sure. Like, Vontae just was realizing like he didn't, he couldn't keep up no more. Where AB just like. Which also, if Antonio Brown's usually trending on, like, that CTE ESPN right now is going crazy. Every single day I see Antonio Brown's tweets. He was just, you could pull up this exchange between AB and DeMar Hamlin. AB's getting in beef with DeMar Hamlin.
Him getting into it with DeMar Hamlin.
And Joe Biden today, he was, everybody and anybody's in AB's mentions.
That dude is on one. CTE fan.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just goofy. He's goofy, dude. Just goofy.
He really is. But, what are you pulling up right now?
Just checking the latest AB Twitter timeline.
And what are we seeing? CT ESPN.
See a little conjoined twin action?
Yeah, he commented on that and said double the head.
Oh, my.
Yeah, because some guy married these conjoined twins, and I'm pretty sure he just said double the head, which is pretty funny.
He said, which is pretty funny. Oh, boy. Well, that's probably enough for the Twitter tweets today.
We're just done off that topic already?
What else can you say about AB talking about double the heads when he's talking about conjoined twins?
What was he saying at Joe Biden today?
I always got a little cartoon video of Meek Mill and Diddy.
Oh, does he? I mean, dude, he knows what he's doing, though. He's staying relevant. We're talking about him.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, he's a nut job, but
He's off one.
I mean, he's staying in the headlines. So every single day I see something that Antonio Brown tweeted.
That's nice.
You're still talking about his antics where he quit at halftime, Buccaneers Jets.
Yeah,
He's doing
'cause we
fucking
were
jumping
talking
jacks
about-
with shirtless.
Because we were talking about quit at halftime.
Yeah, exactly. Well, rest in peace, Vontae Davis. Moment of silence.
True.
There's a real one.
The Blues lost real bad.
Nope, next.
Hockey season's over. Baseball season, I guess. For how long? How long is baseball season going to be relevant in St. Louis?
What do you mean? It's always relevant.
Even if we're in fourth place in the division?
It's always going to be relevant because even when we're bad, nothing spoiled ass, crybaby, bitch ass fans in St. Louis love to do more than celebrate our team success is cry and whine about our losses and, oh, Miss Alak Marmol, oh my gosh, we've had a couple of losing seasons. Oh my God. It's just...
It sounds like Cardinals fans to me.
So it's always relevant because St. Louis fans are more addicted to our team being bad than they like when we're good. They love it. They love talking about how bad we are.
Everybody wants to be the victim.
Yeah, it's entertaining that our pitching staff's old, this and that. But look, they all pitched well versus the Dodgers. It was the bullpen. And now what? People
Yikes. Yeah, it's like we're
moved
starting
on.
off the season and you can't even have guys pitch whole games, which is funny to me.
Yeah, it is weird, but
Well,
relevant in the fact that, like, if you mean how long will the Cardinal season be relevant, and that people are talking about possible playoffs, I think we stay relevant the whole year. We lost 3 versus the Dodgers. It's the fucking Dodgers.
I mean, yes, the Dodgers are good.
And we were close to splitting that series, but nonetheless, here we are now. Dodgers are a powerhouse, and that's a whole nother thing. Like, I think that's a whole nother issue. Have we talked since all this shit
with Shohei? I feel like we touched on that 2 weeks ago.
No,
but I didn't know anything.
We talked about it at the cabin, but we didn't talk on the podcast. Shohei, he did this shit.
You think he was just a gambling guy and
yes,
had it all running through his interpreter?
I do.
He wasn't gambling on baseball. He was gambling on like table tennis and shit.
Well, I don't think we know any of it. But I 100% think that Shohei was at least involved more than he's trying to claim he was involved.
Yeah. Yeah, could be. I don't know. It's tough to say. You don't have perspective on what it's like to have that kind of money, you know? Like, imagine, so say he's got $100 million to his name and 4.5 million is unaccounted for. It's like saying if we had $1,000 in our name and we had $4.50 that came out of our account, and really easy for you not to notice $4.50. Does that math equate? You know, I guess it's not, it's not one for one. Losing millions of dollars without noticing shouldn't be easy for anybody.
Well, if it was $1,000, wouldn't it be if 45 was missing?
Yeah, okay, probably. And you might notice it, but it's less likely, I guess.
Yeah.
Is all the point I'm trying to say. If you have a ton of money and little money is missing, whatever, unaccounted for.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is the story kept changing. It was Ipe said, I came to Shohei and told him that I was in debt, so he agreed and helped to pay me out. Then next thing you know is that, he was stealing from Shohei and that Shohei never even knew anything. And, this was all Ipe. That's why I think that Shohei was involved. It's like there's inconsistencies in the story. Yeah. And look, I've gotten enough trouble in my childhood and my youth to know when I'm changing stories and my story is automatically changing every time oh shit, that's probably not believable. Let me go back to the drawing board.
Let's try this again.
Yeah, and that's what I think,
That could be.
If somebody's telling the truth, it's going to be the same thing. Unless, I just highly doubt that Ipe is going to try to come out and claim all this shit that Shohei was helping bail him out if he knew that wasn't the case?
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Ever since you said that we don't talk about conspiracies, we've done nothing
Nothing
but
to
talk
talk-
about conspiracies, and I love it. I love it, dude.
All right. Well,
Leave your comments in, below.
let us know if you're into the conspiracies.
Yeah. With Shohei gambling, it's P. Diddy diddling, and
Did the bridge in Baltimore
Which-
collapse on its own? Was it an accident?
well, it didn't collapse on its own.
Well, did the boat run into it on purpose, or was it an accident? Is the conspiracy in question? I guess
Yeah, and
because they're saying, oh, they did it to cut off a main artery of Baltimore, which is like a main shipping port, and blah blah blah.
why?
But why? They say it's to kick off war. That's what all the conspiracies are.
Kick off
usually.
war
Yeah,
in Baltimore?
like I said, it has something to do with slowing down. What do you call it?
In Baltimore is so important, and that's why. Maybe I'm missing something.
Because there's a port there. I mean, there's
Okay.
ports all up and down the East Coast.
Yeah,
So
bigger ones in Baltimore.
but there's a big Amazon one apparently in Baltimore. Amazon relies on bringing stuff through Baltimore a lot.
You sold me. They did it on purpose.
He's
How
like, yes,
stupid and naive of me.
it's all coming very clear. No, I just don't know. I didn't, like I said, I didn't really read into it. These are just the surface level like tweets and things that I saw floating around, and I said, "Are you serious?
Jet fuel doesn't melt bridges."
Do people believe this?" They're like, they said, what did they say? They
Mr.
said
Reference.
Russian hackers hacked into the boat's computer system and shut down the engines and steered it into the bridge. So that all sounds real excessive.
Yeah. Well,
If there was, we're talking about Baltimore.
Why Russian
Baltimore is
hackers?
like the East Coast version of St. Louis. If there was, what part of the United States would you never live in your mind? Like, even if you've never visited it, just like if you're thinking of the whole United States, you'd be like, nope, would never.
I
live
don't know
there.
as a St. Louis kid if I'm in a position to sit here and say what city I wouldn't fucking live in.
Well, it doesn't even have to be a specific city, just region.
Because a lot of
part of
people
the
outside
country.
of St. Louis would probably choose St. Louis. Gary,
wouldn't wanna
Indiana,
live here?
maybe. Gary, Indiana, Flint, Michigan. That seems like it sucks. Can't even drink tap water.
Yeah, I think most of the northern part of the country is out for me. I would rather not be cold half the year, so I'm
But
out.
you're cold half the year right now.
I know, and I don't like it. Doesn't mean that I like it.
So you want to move somewhere warm?
Well, I'm just saying, if I'm choosing any part of the country to live in and any part of the country not to live in, I know that I'm not going to live in the northern climate year round.
You're out on St. Louis. You used to be a big St. Louis guy. You're out on it.
It's just the weather here. I mean, it's getting better. St. Louis is fine, but if I would rather be warm year round. That's just the kind of person I am.
I mean, you said, but what city would I not want to live in? I think, first of all, it's a pretty blanket statement for
I
you to
didn't say
say
city.
anywhere
I
on
said
the North
I
Coast.
said
You
what
didn't-
area of the country would you not want to
You
live in?
said city.
I didn't say city.
We have it's on recording.
That's great, but I said what area of the country would you not want to live in? That's what I asked.
That's not what you asked.
It is. Well, that's what I'm asking now then, because you couldn't listen
One
the
of
first
us
time.
is going to look pretty stupid. I know that. That'll
That's
be
nice.
It could be me. I have two different shoes on right now. I woke up this morning, got dressed for work in the dark, literally.
In the dark.
You know, people say, would you get dressed in the dark? Well, yeah.
He said,
I get to work an hour into my shift, realize that I have two different shoes on. They don't even look alike. One's gray, one's navy blue, one's Adidas, one's Under Armour.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a bold choice.
Nobody at work noticed. So when I noticed, I got ahead of it and I was pointing it out myself. Like, look how stupid I am.
He said, maybe if I say something, nobody else will notice and make me
Get
feel
ahead of it.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, yeah, I knew it is pretty stupid. But
I just want to know how many pairs of shoes you have floating around that you can put on two of the right size shoes. And
I have like 8 pairs of shoes in that room.
And they're all just tennis shoes?
Most of them, yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
But I mean, nonetheless, I've never done this.
He said, I've never done this. Well,
And I'm thinking here, that might
You
not
did
even be
today.
true. I've done this, but it's been with two the same color shoe. I've never done. Oh, whoa.
You don't want to hear about Gatorade?
Payroll's been fucking blasting ads off Reddit into my ears for half the show.
Well, little intrusion here and there. Never hurt anybody.
But yeah. I don't even know how I feel about this episode, to be honest, as we're speaking. I feel like there's been a lot of things we've talked about that we really just don't even have any clue about.
Yeah, a lot of that. That's usually what we're good at, I'd say.
You're like, what do you think about P. Diddy? We have like no follow-ups, nothing ready and locked and loaded on any of the details.
I heard about that P. Diddy thing.
There's just a lot of speculation.
Well, that's what everybody else does until they don't. And I don't have time to read about it. I just was hoping you'd tell me about what you knew. And maybe it would be something different than what I knew.
Well, I went off the cuff and told you what I know.
Yeah. Well, it's because we caught up about a lot of the personal things. We didn't have a lot of personal stuff going on. I was sick last week, and we had hung out the weekend before that with some good friends.
It was a great time.
And so there just wasn't too much new to add in that sense. I didn't watch much last week. It was a terrible weekend in St. Louis sports. So speculating about P. Diddy and the Baltimore Bridge is probably the best we could have done.
Oh, I'm not mad about the speculation. I'm just like, we don't have any of the details pulled up on anything. So let me try to get caught up to date live on air.
That's all right. The details it's meant for people to fill in themselves. They can make nice little guesses as they're listening. They can come up with their own versions of the stories.
I can tell you that 3 days ago that a NYPD said it is not looking great for old Sean Combs.
There's a headline for you. He said, "Yeah, it's not looking great. Was what we can tell you. We can't tell you much else besides that. But guys, it is not looking great. So just let that one go. P. Diddy's gone."
That's a hot take too. We don't know.
We don't know.
So that's the latest and greatest thing to this date.
Is there anything so expensive nowadays that you don't purchase it any longer, that you used to buy that you don't now because it's too expensive?
Maybe not buy as often. I don't know. Everything's so fucking expensive, dude.
Yeah, but is there anything that you've been like, all right, I got to cut this because it's just too expensive?
No.
I think I'm cutting that cord on soda here recently. I just can't justify $10 for a 12-pack of soda. $9.90, whatever it is, damn near $10 half the time for a 12-pack of soda. Just not worth it. Just going to suffer and drink water.
Soda's becoming as expensive as beer.
Yeah, might as well drink beer. Shit. At least you get something after it. Get a little bit, feel a little bit nicer. Don't have to worry as much about the money you spent on the beer. You're not as sad.
Yeah, I'd say I don't
Fast
spend that much
foods.
money on soda any day. Fast food. But these are all things that I think are good to cut out anyways. Like,
sure. So
that's why I haven't said, because like I try to
themselves?
cut out, potato chips, because I bought those chips to take down to the cabin, that family size bag, and I look and I saw it was like $7.89, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Just
now I'm trying to buy less chips and fast food and soda and all that anyway for health reasons. So when you said, is there anything I'm cutting out because of cost? It's like, these things are all things I'd probably would cut out because of cost, but I'm already trying to not get those things as much anyways. But
yeah,
I mean, it is.
I haven't cut out steak, but I haven't had a steak in a long time just because it's so dang pricey. And it's like, if I buy a steak, I have to buy 3 steaks because I can't just bring home a steak for myself and not cook one for everybody else. So you're going to spend, that price times 3.
I'm cooking me a steak tonight. I have 2 in the fridge, me and the lady.
And how much were those a piece? Probably $9.
$9.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to go to a restaurant, you're going to pay 20 for it.
Well, I'm not arguing with you. Of course, you're saving money by doing it at home, but still, $9 plus whatever you're going to make for the fixins and little sides,
Broccoli,
you're going to
mashed
probably still
potatoes,
spend $15 a person per meal. And it's like, can't we eat for less than $15 per meal? It's pretty dang hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I don't know if it's pretty dang hard, but if you want to, like,
it
have
is
a good,
if you want to. If you're
hearty,
unless you're going to have pasta or rice or another starch all the time.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Those are the ways you avoid. I don't know.
Like you're not eating healthy and filling foods for cheap. Like you can't eat healthy. Like,
and that's a
but
problem.
you can get a bunch of chicken for a decent price these days.
Well, what's a bunch of chicken and what's a decent price? Because it was like 5 pounds of chicken breasts, and that was like $18.
Yeah, well, there is a gap in
again,
wealth. And
I'm not stopping to buy chicken just because it's more expensive. I was just trying to think if there was anything that you've stopped buying or using because it's more expensive, too expensive. And like I said, I think soda's to that point now. It's tipping on me where it's just too expensive. I would rather just kick the habit than keep paying for that. Maybe escape rooms. I'm gonna kick that. They're too expensive for me, so I won't be escape room again.
We're gonna pivot. You pissed off some people last week
by talking about prices of escape rooms.
Yeah. Well, and your takes on St. Charles.
Oh, that's all right. They'll get over it.
You sent a lot of shots.
That's fine.
What do you think people in St. Charles would say about you?
I don't know. What do you think they'd say about themselves?
I don't know. I don't really have strong takes on St. Charles.
Well, there you go.
I don't spend a lot of time in St. Charles.
They can go back and they can listen to anybody's takes. They can listen to my takes about St. Charles from last week's episode. We don't have to rehash all this rehash. Little Sports Center update action.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark in Iowa meet Angel Reese and defending champ LSU.
Wowzers, it's happening right now, live as we talk.
So this has been a good episode, and I'm going to get out of here because I'm trying to watch.
He's like, I got to go.
Not satirically at all. I am excited to go home and watch women's basketball.
There's a take.
That's cool.
And that's cool.
Is that a take? I think it's pretty widely accepted.
It is. It's popular these days.
I think
it's entertaining. It is more entertaining. I guess basketball, the women's game relates more to what people recognize as basketball. There's a lot less, you have to actually have an offense and it's not just one player taking over a game every time and they're dunking. And
that loser, Zach Edey. I can't stand Zach Edey. He's a loser.
Lou Zahir. I never met
He's good at basketball, I guess.
That's what people tell us.
But it's Purdue. Purdue's just a shit stain of
Indiana?
College basketball. Every year they get hyped up. This is the first year ever.
You don't have takes about St. Charles. You got takes about Purdue. Let's go.
This is the first year ever that Purdue actually doesn't completely just underachieve. Last year they get knocked out as a 1 seed. They have a 7'4", 300-pound goon that will be as successful in the NBA as you and me. Guaranteed. This guy cannot get out to the perimeter in today's modern NBA. They're going to laugh at him. And after the game, he's sitting there, they said this and that. Shut the fuck up, Zach Edey. Dude, you are going to be a failure at the next level.
Failure?
A 7'4", 300-pound fucking bag of fail.
Yeah.
I hope
you don't move like that.
I hope that chubby dude on NC State and NC State can somehow pull us off. But either way, looks like any team that's going to face UConn is going to get dog walked. Maybe I'll be here next Monday, which I guess next Monday will be the national championship. Probably. Yeah, it's usually Monday. Maybe we'll do a live. Maybe we'll have it during watching and Zach Edey get his ass pounded by UConn.
I think that's what the people want.
So that's what I want to say this week. Fuck Zach Edey. Fuck Purdue. Never liked them. I've been to Purdue's campus one time and terrible experience. That's when Grant got alcohol poisoning at the Purdue frat party, and all those frat dudes were like, "Yeah, we can't take him to the hospital. We're gonna shut our whole shit down."
Dude, that's like standard frat procedure.
Yeah, so you can combine frat boys
Let's
and
fuck up
Purdue.
and then just cover our ass. I mean, that's just them practicing for the white collar world that they're all going to join. Let's fuck up and then cover our ass. Get the government to bail us out.
What the fuck is a boiler maker?
They're
They're making boilers.
It's like a train.
Losers. They suck.
Yeah. We could agree probably on that.
Yeah, fuck. What is that? West Lafayette? Where is it?
What?
Purdue. I've been
It's
there.
in
West
Indiana.
Lafayette, isn't it, right?
I don't know. Can't verify. West Lafayette, is that what we're saying?
That's what I'm saying. But I was in West Lafayette because I didn't want to.
They
But fuck 'em.
suck.
UConn is dog walking teams.
Yeah.
And that is why
That's crazy. Never
Women-
seen a 30-0 run in a Elite 8 game.
it was 23-23. I was at Sports and Social. I think when I looked, it was like 23-21. And I looked back and I was like, what the actual fuck? Is this right? Anyways, I seriously think women's basketball is more intriguing right now than men's.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
so
And
good. That is awesome.
Yeah. And like I was saying, I do think part of that is just the relatability of the game is like caught up to where the women's game is more like in tune with what basketball was and used to be and should be, I guess. 5 players on the court working together as opposed to 1 or 2 players just taking over the whole court and being the whole flow of the game like it is in the pros, men pros in college these days. 3-point shooting, is out of hand.
Yeah, 3 passes before a shot. Get off my lawn.
This old man basketball.
But
So anyway, I think we covered just about everything.
yeah, dude. I mean, hopefully next week we'll come a little more prepared.
No guarantees.
I will try to be more prepared in the topics that I think could be talked about. Maybe we'll rehash some of these topics we talked about today with a little more information and a little more follow up on that.
A little digging on Diddy. You like that? Yeah. Digging on Diddy,
Better than being dug on by Diddy, if you know what I mean.
Ask Usher.
Is Usher involved?
That's what, yeah. There's stories
because
about
of Justin
Usher
Bieber shit.
and Biebs and the Meek Mills. All these guys being
Oh,
diddled
Doyle,
by
I have
Diddy.
a feeling your whole family is going down one day.
Doyle rules.
Who is safe in entertainment?
Who is safe in entertainment?
Can you what if some huge fucking scandal came out about Adam Sandler being a just raging pedophile?
That'd be tough.
That'd be a tough
look.
pill for America to swallow.
Yeah. Because
Not make it clear. I don't think that's
came
the
from
thing.
like a different place than other guys did, I guess.
But he's safe, right?
I guess. I don't know, buddy. Who is these days?
Is there anybody you'd hear and be surprised?
Yes.
Who?
Adam Sandler, for
Yeah.
sure. I feel like Jim Carrey. Am I thinking Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey, the Mask guy.
You'd be surprised. I don't know. I feel like Jim Carrey's a little quirky.
He does, but he also anytime Jack Black seems like he's pretty grounded and trustworthy. I would think that Jack Black. I'd be highly surprised to hear anything bad on him. Will Ferrell, like a lot of those kind of guys. Emma Watson, like
Emma Watson.
I'm just saying. You asked if there'd be anybody that I'd be like
Those
shocked to
guys
hear
and
anything
Emma
about.
Watson.
Well, just going down the list now.
That's such a random name. What about Dave Chappelle?
Yeah,
You would what?
I would be surprised.
Emma Watson though.
What?
Drew Carey, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler. Emma Watson.
Well, would you not be surprised to hear her name
I
caught
think
up
you
in
just
something?
have a crush on Emma Watson.
What is that? I don't understand what that has to do with not answering the question.
It was just such a random name.
Well, I was trying to because I'd set all comedic guys, so I'm like, let me just switch the genre and the gender. So
On that note,
we're out. Sit, talk, listen. The podcast. This is episode 3. We're out.
Till next week.
Peace.